Okay, let's jump in. For decades, we all thought we knew the story of the horse, right? The history books all pointed to one place, the Botai site in Kazakhstan, about 5,500 years ago.
Right. There was evidence of milk use, maybe even harnesses. It seemed like a closed case.
And then recent DNA analysis just dropped a bombshell.
It completely rewrote the story. And what's so fascinating is that those Botai horses, they were a genetic dead end.
So not the ancestors of modern horses at all.
Not at all. The horse you see today, the true domestic horse, actually originates much later. We're talking around 4,200 years ago and way over in the Western Eurasian Steppe.
The Lower Volga-Don region, to be specific.
Exactly. So for our deep dive today, we really want to focus on three big questions for you. What was the technical evolution here? What problems did this new technology solve? And how did it completely reshape human society?
So let's start with that first technical hurdle, domestication. It wasn't about breeding for brute strength, was it?
No, not at first. The problem wasn't power, it was control. It was reliability.
You had to tame the mind before the body.
Precisely. The genetic selection was a technical evolution in itself. They were actively breeding for genes that, reduce the fear response.
Made them more compliant.
Yes, and more social. This solved the fundamental problem of how to control a huge, powerful animal and actually trust it.
Okay, so that's the biology sorted, but you still need the hardware to go with it. How did that evolve?
Well, once the animal is compliant, the gear has to maximize control. We see early signs of bit usage, things for harnesses, but the real breakthroughs were about stability for the rider.
You go from just a simple cloth on the horse's back to what?
To the solid wooden frame saddle. That comes out of the Han Dynasty in China, and it's a huge leap. It improves stability massively.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me. The stirrup. Such a small piece of tech, but it changed warfare forever.
It's the ultimate solution to the stability problem. Once stirrups become common, especially in China around the 4th to 6th centuries, everything changes.
The rider is anchored.
Completely anchored. Their hands are free, they can wear heavy armor, and this is the key. They can stand up and deliver a devastating charge with a spear or a sword.
So that mechanical advantage is what really unlocks the horse for power projection. It solves the problem of distance.
Yes. And you see it happening right away. The spread of the modern domestic horse, around 2000 BCE, it lines up perfectly with the rise of the chariot culture.
Sintashta culture.
The Sintashta. But the ultimate military refinement, the real peak of horse-based warfare, comes much later with the Mongol Empire.
You can't talk about mobility and not talk about the Mongols. They didn't just solve the problem of fighting, they solved the problem of logistics.
Their speed was just, it's hard to comprehend. They could cover 80 to 90 kilometers a day.
2, maybe 3 times faster than a conventional army at the time.
And that speed enabled tactics like the Mangredai, the famous feign retreat. Their horsemanship was their greatest weapon.
But it wasn't just war. This mobility must have revolutionized communication and trade across continents. Think of the Silk Road.
The horse was the logistical engine of the Silk Road. It enabled these vast cultural and linguistic exchanges, the spread of languages, of religions like Buddhism.
And for running an empire.
Look at the Mongol Yam system, a postal service, basically, a network of relay stations where riders would swap for fresh horses.
And the speed was incredible for the 13th century. We're talking about documents traveling, 1,500 kilometers in about 10 days?
That kind of speed, powered entirely by biology, is just astonishing efficiency.
There's one last piece of tech here on the agricultural side.
Right. The horse collar,
Yeah.
a huge innovation. Before that, harnesses were designed for oxen, and they would choke a horse when it pulled too hard.
So the collar solves that by putting the load on the shoulders.
Exactly. And suddenly the horse is way more efficient than an ox for plowing heavy soils. It's a huge boost for food production.
So to sum it all up, the domestication of the horse 4,200 years ago, plus all this gear, it really was the ultimate infrastructure upgrade for early civilization.
It really was. But it raises a final provocative thought. The speed and organization of something like the Mongol Yam was based entirely on the biological capacity of one animal.
A delicate balance of biology and engineering.
It was. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What critical system today, whether it's for communication or transport, relies on a single vital resource like that? And what happens when it fails?